G'day there, ladies and ladies. Welcome back to part 2 of Why I Hate the Pokedex. We had covered the awkward reason for the Pokedex last time. Today, we start looking at what is actually inside it. Now, this is supposed to be a highly advanced encyclopedia of the creatures in this world. But then, why is it scrambled so? Think of it this way. Have you ever found a collection or database that hasn't had a consistent way of organization? Now, the most typical ways to organize are alphabetical and numerical. Easy enough to understand, these are the ways where you communicate amongst each other. Depending on what is necessary though, different data or organizing might be preferred. For example, if you wanted to sort out natural disasters by their level of impact, alphabetical and numerical could take a back seat, being implemented after other filters. These ways of organizing data really help to display key information in an easily accessible manner. So then, what is the Pokedex order? The Pokedex is organized in two main ways. The first is regional number, and the second is national number. Alrighty, there is no mention of alphabetical, so this should be raising some alarms, but let's continue. It doesn't sound too bad, right? We still have a number, do we need an alphabet? I would argue, yes. The regional Pokedex, for example, has a species designated with each number, but fundamentally, there is no rhyme or reason for this order. What is the reason for Bulbasaur to be number 1, really? It's certainly not a name, as Ava would be first. Is it the weakest? Strongest? No, the reason is flimsy, but I think it's supposed to represent the order you find it. This has so many things wrong with it, and yet it is the basis of this world's encyclopedia. For starters, well, for starters. Always at the start of the Pokedex, but yet never found anywhere within the region. It's as if these Pokemon are just arbitrarily selected to be at the beginning. There is no reason for this beyond it's part of how it's designed. And with this we can extrapolate that other Pokemon are just placed there because that's how it's designed, or to put it in other words, they already know every single Pokemon out there, as they each have a designated spot. And how true is it that it reflects the trainer's journey? Sure, bug and normal types in the start and ice and dragon types in the end are pretty common, but everything in between seems random. You can count the Pokemon that are way ahead of the Pokedex because sometimes it feels like there are hidden patterns to the order. For example, version exclusives are always in the same spot, same as fossil Pokemon being together. A lot of biome-based Pokemon will be grouped up, such as being in forest or cave. Truly, it feels like it is completely random, especially for a scientific device. Imagine if you started your journey elsewhere, would your Pokedex be different? It just feels weird that it is trying to have some bias in its official, nationally approved encyclopedia. The other course is National Dex. It's basically the regional Dex taped together, but the Pokemon are filtered to their discovered point, which by itself is weird. Not only does this break up multi-gen evolution lines, but it also tries to specifically define where Pokemon belong. For example, Pokemon Chansey. What region should it belong into? It can be found in various regions, but it was first discovered in Kanto, but its evolution was discovered in Johto, and its pre-evolution is in Sinnoh. So what is going on here? I get that they are trying to replicate the order the games are made, but in-universe this is insane. Some don't have Pokemon, even though the Gen 2 can only be found in that debut generation in the post-game Kanto. Does that make them a Johto Pokemon, or a Kanto Pokemon? My headcanon is that it reflects the order they have submitted the paperwork or something. A Geodude is found in many regions, but because I was the first to get its paperwork in, I guess it's a Kanto Pokemon. Must be a real slap in the face when you have a region with history and you know Pokemon that are in that history, but because you were slow with signing papers, I guess your Pokemon that existed before others comes later on an international encyclopedia. Sometimes you can filter the Pokedex according to a group, height, weight, or name, but there really should be a standard way to organize the ever-expanding world of Pokemon. In my opinion, the Pokedex should follow this order: alphabetical, family starting from the lower stage, evolution order if possible, then region Dex location. For example, in Kanto for Pokemon Eevee, it would exist in the E section of the Pokedex and go Eevee, Flareon, Jolteon, Vaporeon. For Sinnoh, Gardevoir family would be in the R section for Ralts, Kelia, Gallade, Gardevoir. The start of the Pokedex would be Abra, Kadabra, Alakazam, Absol, for example. It's a lot better than Bulbasaur because it's the starter and it was the first. I hope that this kind of system would make it easier to find Pokemon. Obviously you can still add filters such as A groups or biomes to make it easier, but fundamentally having an order such as this shouldn't be confusing. This does help, but the Pokemon that are in multiple regions or are not natively found within their debut generation make this difficult. But if you guys would be interested, I could put together a remade national Pokedex that follows this order. As it stands now, the Pokedex is terrible and I hate it. Thank you for watching, I'll see you.